I'm Chef James, and this is Roasted Chicken Noodle Soup. Today I'm going to be making a roasted chicken noodle soup, and it's going to be a good recipe. But I do want to go ahead and say a couple things before we go ahead and make it, because I'm going to be starting it with a roasted chicken, building the broth up for this. And I just want to take a moment or two to go ahead and kind of give my vision of the purpose of this channel. My background is as a culinary degree chef, also as a pit master. And as people have taught me, the purpose of this channel is I want to go ahead and teach others how to be the chef of their own home. In order for people to do this, I'm teaching methodology. So you can apply this how to you use it to your home, your lifestyle. For example, this recipe today, it's time consuming. It really is. At the end of the day, as a home chef, home cook, do you really want to take the time to be able to do something like this? That's up to you. But I'm teaching you the methodology on how to be able to do this. How you can go ahead and apply it into your lifestyle, your family. You'll have the knowledge, you'll have the tools to be able to do so. So, today, what I'm going to be doing is going to take a roasted chicken. I'm going to be putting it in the oven. I'm going to be roasting it for about 45 minutes. Bringing it on out, letting it cool. From there, I'm going to go ahead and pull all the white meat off it. And then I'm going to put the rest of it back into the stock pot, into my cast iron pot. And I'm going to go ahead and start building up a chicken broth from this. The difference between a stock and a broth, stocks are made from bones, broths are made from bones and meat. So this is going to have meat on it, so this is actually going to be a broth. This is a very, very flavorful broth. In the restaurant, where I started doing this, it could take anywhere between 8 to 12 hours. Do you, the homeowner, the home cook, do you want to spend that much time into it? Probably not. So I'm going to be showing some tips on how to shorten this up, to be able to make this less time consuming, but still be able to get all the flavor out of it. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get into making this awesome, totally awesome roasted chicken noodle soup. And to get this amazing roasted chicken soup going, we got to start with the broth itself, which is an amazing roasted chicken broth. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and use my Dutch oven. If you don't have one, that's fine. Go ahead and do a roasting pan, but you'll just have to go ahead and transfer all the ingredients over into the Dutch oven. So as you can see, I'm starting with a whole fryer. What I'm going to be adding into it is going to be celery, onion, and a couple cloves of garlic, which I haven't even peeled. They'll add a nice little color to this. And let's go ahead and get that pushed off to the side, because what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm also going to do a generous salting of the chicken. And I'm going to put that, once I have it salted, go ahead and put it into a 400 degree oven for 45 minutes. And I'll go ahead and pull it back out, and that'll be the beginnings of this amazing broth for this awesome, awesome chicken noodle soup I'm getting ready to make. But this is the first part of a two-part journey we're getting ready to take. So right now I'm getting ready to go ahead and put this into the oven for 45 minutes, and I'll bring it back out and I'll show you what it looks like. And we'll take it from there. And I've just pulled this out 45 minutes, and it's been roasting, and you see now we have this amazing chicken. It's starting to get a little bit of color. You can start seeing where the onions and celery start to go ahead and caramelize. What I'm going to do at this point, we're continuing to go ahead and pull this chicken, go ahead and let it cool. And once it gets to be kind of cool, enough to go ahead and pull the white meat off it. We're going to go ahead and pull that to the side, put it in the refrigerator, because we're going to use that for the soup. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut up the rest of it, put it back into the pot, and I'll come back when I have all that done. Now you can see this amazing roasted chicken that we did. I had it in the oven for 45 minutes at 400 degrees. I then pulled it out of the Dutch oven and go ahead and let it rest. And then once it's cool enough, I'll go ahead and pull off the white meat and go ahead and separate it. Put the legs, chicken wings, tips, everything else back into the pot to keep building this amazing roasted chicken broth. Now you can see that I pulled the roasted chicken and got that off to the side. Now you can see my roasted caramelized onion, celery. You can see all that goodness on the bottom of it. This is going to make for amazing flavor as we go to build the rest of this. So I've got the chicken there cooling, and once I have that, we'll come on back and start building the rest of it. Okay, so right now I've pulled the chicken. I've got the white meat pulled off of it. I've taken all the fat and everything off as well. And the white meat, and I'll show you that later, is just done, which means it's going to be really juicy and tender. So I've broken down the rest of this. The carcass, the neck, the bones, and I'll throw them all back in. And I've actually, the little secret ingredient to this is put in a tablespoon of ketchup. You'll see what this does later. And now on a good chicken stock, it takes anywhere between 8 to 12 hours to really develop the body of a good chicken stock. Don't know how many home cooks, home chefs want to spend 12 hours. So here is to be able to supercharge this. Instead of adding water, I'm adding chicken stock into it. So I'm starting with flavor. It's going to build more flavor. If I start with water, I'll go to flavor. So we're actually going to reduce this from about 12 hours to about 3 hours. And we're going to supercharge the flavor of this. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and add in the chicken stock. Then we're going to go ahead and put this back onto the stove. I'm going to bring it up to a roaring boil. Not to a roaring boil. Let me rephrase that. Just to a bubbling simmer. We're going to reduce it back down again because we just want it bubbling. Bubble, bubble, toil and trouble. We don't want a rolling boil. We just want bubble, bubble, toil and trouble. And then we're going to go ahead and start skimming this. Now it's going to be about 3 hours before this come back, and you're going to see an amazing, absolutely amazing broth. See, now, as you see, this is exactly where I want this. You can see that we've got a little bubble, toil and trouble. You're starting to see what is called scum on the top of this. So what we're going to be doing is gradually going through and skimming some of this scum off the top of it. And as it comes up, we're going to keep doing this until we get a nice clean stock. So I'm going to go ahead and clean the scum, and I'll be back in a little bit. Wow, I just had a taste of this, and this has been simmering like this for about 4 hours. I've let it go a little bit longer than would, but it still had to come up a little bit. As you can see, it's very clean broth. So what I'm going to be doing now is starting to finish up on the broth. What I need to do is go ahead and strain it and go ahead and get a nice clean broth out of this. Bring it into a ice bath. Quickly reduce the temperature down so that we go ahead and cool it off. Clean out the pot. So I'll go ahead and start the part two, which is going to be actually building the classic roasted chicken noodle soup. Looking good. Okay, so now we're ready. I've got the awesome stock. Go ahead and strain that out and cleaned it up, and it is good. So what I'm doing now is getting ready to go ahead and build the soup. So I've got mirepoix, which is carrots, celery, and diced. And so I'm going to go ahead and start getting some of this butter browning up. And once it starts getting brown, I'll go ahead and start adding in the mirepoix. And mirepoix is essentially carrots, onions, and celery. So we're going to go ahead and start stirring that around. Let this go ahead and start sauteing down. And I held back on this skimming of the broth because I kept back about a tablespoon of the chicken fat. And I'm going to actually add that in about 5 minutes. And that's going to give this an amazing flavor. So I'm ready to do that. I'll be right back. Now we have been sauteing this for about 5 minutes now. And as you can see, we're starting to go ahead and get a little bit of translucent to it, starting to soften up a little bit. And I held back about a tablespoon of this chicken fat, and this is where I'm going to go ahead and use it. I'm going to go ahead and add it in. And I'm actually going to saute the vegetables into the chicken fat. And once that's done, I'm going to go ahead and add in some garlic. I'll do that to the very last minute. Garlic about 1 or 2 minutes at most. And then we'll be ready to go ahead and start building up the soup. I'll be adding in the broth. And I'll go ahead, once I add the broth into it, I'm going to be bringing it up to a hard boil. So when I get to that point, we're going to be looking at some really good soup. This is getting to be an amazing, amazing looking soup. Now, as we're looking right here, right now it's coming back up to a boil, and I've got all that good flavor. Look at that amazing color. Look at that color on that stock in that soup. And that's coming from the roasting of the chicken and the time we took to go ahead and bring that up. So as it comes up to a boil, right, it's accomplishing two things. One, we're going to soften up the carrots, and second, though, when you add in the pasta, it'll go ahead and cook the pasta. Then last thing after that would be go ahead and put the chicken back in, cook for about another 10 minutes, and we should be about ready to have some good soup. Now, we started at early in the morning, and it's now almost 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So this is a soup that's taken almost 8 hours. So you know this is going to be good. Now look at the color of this, right? Noodles, chicken is packed full of goodness. So right now is soups are made to meditate by. So don't worry if you want to follow this exactly, be my guest. But if you got other things in there like mushrooms or the peppers and stuff that are getting good, this is what soup's great for. To go ahead and do it as you like, but make sure that broth, you don't season. You wait to do the seasoning afterwards. Always go ahead and season before you serve, just make it the way it is. So right now I'm getting ready to go ahead and take a taste of this and see what we got. So don't mind me. Oh, that is some good soup. This is my signature chicken noodle soup, and if you like it, go ahead and make it. The broth is the key to this.